Welcome back. This is where we stop talking about simulators and actually feel the difference between them. In Lecture 210, we're running one identical lab across three tools: Packet Tracer, GNS3, and EVE-NG. Same topology, same four tasks, three very different experiences. By the end, you won't be guessing which tool fits your workflow. You'll know because your hands will have told you. Here's why we're doing this instead of just reading a comparison chart. Reading about tool differences is a bit like reading about riding a bicycle. You'll build the same small lab in all three tools, back to back, with a timer running. Expect roughly 3 minutes in Packet Tracer, 10 in GNS3, and 15 in EVE-NG. Along the way, you'll notice fidelity differences in the output, find which tool actually feels natural under your fingers, and discover that while commands transfer cleanly, the interfaces really don't. So here's the experiment itself. One PC, one router, a single link on G00, with the router living at 192.168.1.1 and the PC at 10. 4 tasks, identical in every tool. Name the router, set a MOTD banner, give G00 its IP, and verify with show IP interface brief. The commands won't change at all between Packet Tracer, GNS3, and EVE-NG. What changes is how it feels to get there. Round 1 goes to Packet Tracer, and the headline number is 3 minutes flat. Apps already open, drag a 2911 onto the canvas, click into the CLI tab, and the terminal's right there waiting. Type your 4 commands, run show IP int brief to confirm, save the PKT, and you're done. It feels almost too easy, and that's the point. Zero friction, fast enough to repeat 20 times an hour. The trade-off? The output's slightly trimmed compared to real iOS, and once you get into OSPF territory, you'll outgrow it. Now round 2, GNS3, and we jump from 3 minutes to 10. Same 4 tasks, but watch where the time goes. 30 seconds waiting on the VM, another minute for the 7200 to actually boot, and you're already at 2:15 before you've typed a single command. The payoff? When that console opens, it's real iOS. Every banner, every line of output is exactly what you'll see on exam day. The downside is just as real. Boot times add up fast, and it's overkill when you only want to try one command. Round 3, even, and now we're at 15 minutes. But here's the twist. Most of that is just the lab sitting there, persisting. The actual setup flows nicely once the VM is up. Browser to the IP, login, drag a Cisco IOL node onto the canvas, and IOL boots in about 20 seconds. Genuinely fast. The trade-off is more clicks than GNS3, and spinning up an entire enterprise platform for one router feels like bringing a forklift to carry a coffee cup. But shut your laptop, walk away, and the lab's still running. That's the enterprise pitch. So lay it all out side by side, and the pattern jumps off the page. 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and every minute you spend buys you something. Packet Tracer trades fidelity for speed. GNS3 and EVE-NG hand you real iOS, full output, and exam-grade behavior, but you pay in RAM and setup. There's no winner here. Pick the tool that fits the task in front of you. Quick syntax drill, deep protocol study, or a persistent lab you share by URL. Here's where that fidelity gap shows up in the actual output. Run the same command on all three, and you'll notice Packet Tracer trims the columns and labels its ports. GigE, GNS3, with the 7200 image gives you fast Ethernet and the full method column, and EVE-NG with IOL hands you plain Ethernet interfaces. The command is identical, the cosmetics aren't, and since the CCNA exam speaks gigabit Ethernet, GNS3 on a 7200 is the closest match to what you'll see on test day. So here's the honest verdict. It's not about which tool is technically best, it's about which one matches how you actually study. If you're squeezing in 20-minute sessions on a train, Packet Tracer wins because it opens instantly. If you've got a real 2-hour block at your desk and you want exam-accurate output, GNS3 becomes your daily driver. And if you've already got a home server, or you sometimes lab from your phone, EVE-NG's browser access pays you back every single day. Pick the one that fits your life, not the one that sounds impressive. And to make that choice easier, here's how the rest of the course actually uses all three. In Phase 1, Sections 3 and 4, you're in Packet Tracer for fundamentals, VLANs, and basic STP. Fast iteration while concepts are still forming. Phase 2, Sections 5 through 7, shifts you into GNS3 for OSPF, ACLs, security, and IP services, where real iOS output starts to matter. Then Phase 3, Sections 8 and 9, moves to EvenG for automation and the integrated capstones. Every lab carries a recommended badge, but if you'd rather rebuild it elsewhere, go right ahead. Now it's your turn to actually run the experiment. Build that slide 3 topology in all three tools back-to-back. Stopwatch running. Packet Tracer first, then GNS3, then EvenG in the browser. Same 4 commands each time, then compare your show IP interface brief output across all three. Write your times down, notice which one felt most natural under your fingers, and lock in your primary tool for the rest of the course. You can always switch later, but you need real numbers to choose from. Here's the whole point of this lecture in one line. Theory is a map, but practice is the territory. You can read about Packet Tracer, GNS3, and EvenG all day, but until your fingers have actually typed those commands in each one, you don't really know them. So go run the lab, then meet me in Lecture 2.11 where we'll wrap up Section 2 and look ahead to what's coming in Section 3.